I'm Kat, and this tutorial is how to turn a pair of $10 jeans into a pretty convincing knockoff of a pair that cost almost $200. I got this pair of jeans from H&M for about $10 and turned them into this pair using about 50 cents worth of supplies. Some people are willing to spend an obscene amount of money for a pair just like this from Anthropologie, but I'm not one of those people. This project took me about an hour and a half to complete, and the pants were ready to wear within about 2 hours. I'm just using a paper bag instead of a palette, and this is just regular basic acrylic paint. I'm using a little bit of black and a whole lot of white and making this light gray color. Make sure you mix it up completely, otherwise some of your spots could end up slightly different shades. And if you have some kind of a little sponge dotting tool, that's great. I don't want to use a brush for this because it has bristles and they move around, so I'm just using this eraser. If you have a pencil with a small eraser on it, that works great. I'm just using the one on the end of this mechanical pencil because it's a little bit smaller, and that's just going to be my dotting tool. I'm going to start pretty close to the seam here so I kind of have a frame of reference, but if you look closely at this fabric, every fabric has a grain in it, so you can see the grain in this fabric is running this way. It's basically whatever clear line you can see, and for jeans, the grain is always going to run up and down the leg because that means it can stretch throughout the width of the jeans. And I am going to do my dots 1.5 inches apart. And they don't have to be perfect because they just don't have to be. You're doing it yourself. Who cares, right? And as you move your ruler down, use at least 2 dots to make sure that your line is still going in the same direction. You don't want to start curving halfway down your pant leg. It's a little weird. And once I've done a row along an entire pant leg, I'm going to start doing the row between that one and the seam. And the way I'm going to do that, I did 1.5 inches between each one. So the halfway point between that would be 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to place that 3/4 mark halfway between these 2 dots right here. And I'm going to look at where the beginning of that inch is and where the end of that 1/2 inch is. And then I'm going to put a dot right there and another one right there. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing, 1 row down. So now I've got a frame of reference to start measuring out my next rows. So I've done one side on the front, and you can see by following the grain, you're making it look like it's actually printed fabric. And it doesn't necessarily line up with the seams, which is why I didn't line it up with the seams. And while I was at it, I decided to make this cute gray pair as well. And now that I'm done with all of my polka dots, I just hung up my pants out of the way to dry. And that's all there is to it.